Okay, so in this video what we're going to do is we're really going to be concentrating on the bottom part of the golf swing. And when you get the opportunity to practice some of the stuff that I talk about in this session, you really want to be putting the emphasis on improving your contact. Now, the big problem for amateur golfers who struggle with contact is that the arms end up being pulled upward. And this basically means that your arms end up sort of bending in the hitting area instead of staying much straighter. So what we want to concentrate on quite simply is a couple of things inside this practice session. The first one is we need to be making sure to get good contact that we are leading with the hands. Okay, so this means that the hands, to be able to get a good strike in the back of the ball, the hands have to be ahead of that club head at the time when you are hitting the ball. Okay, now this is known as our sort of hitting zone. So the first thing that I want you to be very mindful of is if I was to draw a line vertically through my lead ankle and through my trail ankle, what we can see is as I come down in towards this hitting zone, can you see the way that my hands get to the point of above my ankle by the time my club head gets into this position? Okay, so it's opposite my trail ankle. And this is just a position that I want you to become quite familiar with, because I want you to become very aware of the fact that when we come to good ball striking and we're getting the hands forward, when our hands are further forward, the club face is going to be open. You see, the problem is with a lot of golfers is they become so dependent on trying to square it like so that they end up getting so associated to hitting a straight shot with a flipping action that obviously all of a sudden when you're trying to encourage somebody to get the hands forward, they're going to feel like the club face is going to be more open, and that's fine. Because what we know is that the pros really square the club face very late in that swing, and that's one of the things that we need to grow in confidence with as well. So, first thing you're going to do to get used to practicing this is just to grab an alignment stick, okay? And all you're going to do with the alignment stick is you're just going to place it underneath the club shaft so that kind of 2-3 feet are sticking out the other end. And what I'd suggest is, first of all, just do some practice swings. And all you're trying to do is two things. You're trying to get the club head to hit the ground, and you're trying not to impale yourself with the alignment stick. And this will just make sure that your hands are staying nice and straight, low to the ground, and keeping that alignment stick away from you. So when my arms are here, as I hit down on the back of the ball, down on the back of the ground as I'm demonstrating here, okay? And that's the sort of feeling that you want to have. Now, what I would also suggest is once you've kind of had a little go at that, try and hit some shots. But you kind of just want to hit here, 25 balls or so. You don't want to be hitting too many inside your practice session. You just want to be hitting 25 balls, but you want to persevere through this, because there's a very good chance that you're obviously very accustomed to doing this, that it might take you a while to sort of coordinate a little hit. But all we're looking for is little short swings where you sort of take it back and see where I am here. So the way I'm making sure that my hands are staying very much away from their body coming in towards that hitting area. And you just hit some shots with that alignment stick until you start to get the feeling of the hands leading and you're getting the club head to strike down on the back of the ball. Okay. Now, what we can then do as we evolve, and this is where I want you to spend the remainder of your sort of practice time, is I want to make sure that we are very aware of getting the hands to move in that same sort of fashion. So the hands are staying ahead of that the club head in that hitting zone, but obviously we don't want to become too dependent on an alignment stick all the time. So the next phase to this, and this is where I want you to probably incur another 25 balls, is take hold of the club like you normally do, but then separate all the fingers off the club. Okay, so now all of a sudden you've only got your trail palm in contact with the side of the club and your thumb, but you're going to do the same thing. You're going to get the same feeling of just doing a short backswing. But the idea is, as long as that trail hand keeps pushing your club through, you should be able to get similar results, if not slightly better than you did before. But see in this position where I'm here. See the way my palm stays in contact with my thumb. And if you're somebody who's very used to scooping, you'll notice the way your palm doesn't push. And that's because this hand is really trying to push that club through. So the feedback that you're looking for on the next 25 balls is that you're trying to do a short swing, but you want to make sure that your trail palm stays in contact with your lead thumb. And again, you're going to advance the ball 60, 70 yards max, right, with a sort of mid-iron's absolutely fine. Now, getting into the majority of your practice, okay, so you should have a good, 50 or so golf balls left, is we're starting to become aware of it, but we want to advance that swing a little bit longer. So the way you're going to do this now is you're going to do a similar exercise, but we're going to go from this type of grip type and we're going to reintroduce the index finger, and now we're going to introduce the thumb. Now the reason for that is it will make it easier for you to lift the club up, take some of the weight, but also by still keeping the 3 fingers off the club, it'll still keep that awareness between your palm. And that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to get that right palm in contact with that left thumb to make sure that that hand is always straightening, to make sure that the hands are always leading, coming in towards this hitting area, and that's going to give us that good contact. So then you can just now spend a bit of time hitting like 50 balls or so, where you're just getting that same feeling, only swinging back to about left arm horizontal, through to about right arm horizontal, and what it should feel like is that your arms stay pretty straight through that hitting area. And see the way what I'm demonstrating there, just almost like a straight arm relationship on the way through. So again, I'm making sure that that trail palm is staying in contact with that thumb throughout the whole swing. Really important thing that you practice. Go and have a go at it and let me know.